The last broadcast. At 11:57 p.m., the radio station always went quiet. Not silent, just quiet. The town of Briar Hollow slept early. The streets emptied, the lights dimmed. But inside WBRH 88.3 FM, the red on-air sign glowed like a watchful eye. Ethan Cole, a boy with medium height and calm voice, sat behind the mic, hands folded, posture calm. His voice had carried this town through storms, elections, lost pets, and lonely nights for 15 years. Midnight Radio, they called him. The man who never sounded afraid. Behind the glass, Jonah Reed, a girl with short height and yellow hair, adjusted the soundboard. Younger, nervous energy, fingers tapping even when nothing needed fixing.
2 minutes,
Jonah said into the intercom. Ethan nodded.
Same as always.
Jonah hesitated.
You ever think about stopping this segment?
Ethan smiled faintly.
And disappoint the 5 people still awake.
Jonah didn't laugh. It was midnight. Whole town was calm, far removed from the day-long rush and chaos. At exactly 12 a.m., the phone in front of Ethan rang. It always rang at exactly midnight. Ethan leaned forward.
You're on Midnight Radio.
A breath came through the receiver. Slow, uneven. Then a voice. Distorted, familiar, close.
Tonight, someone will die,
the caller said. Jonah stiffened. Ethan kept his tone even.
That's not funny, right? It's not a joke,
the voice replied.
Mark Hensley, Route 6, drunk driver, 12:43 a.m.
The line went dead with a beep. Jonah muted the mic.
We need to call the cops, I think.
Ethan already was. At 12:50 a.m., Mark Hensley was pronounced dead on News Talk. He got crushed on the road by a drunk driver with truck on Route 6 at nearly between 12:40 to 45. After the third night, the police stopped pretending it was a coincidence. After the fifth, they stopped returning calls. Every night, the phone rang. Every night, a death was announced. Every night, it happened. Heart attacks, falls, accidents, quiet, ordinary ends. The caller never raised his voice, never gave details beyond what was necessary, never stayed on the line long enough to be traced. But Jonah noticed things. The pauses, the breathing, the way the caller said Ethan's name without being told.
Tell him to stop saying your name,
Jonah whispered one night. Ethan stared at the mic.
I never told him my last name either.
That night, the caller spoke again.
Jonah Reed,
the voice said calmly.
Don't unplug the transmitter. It makes things worse.
Jonah backed away from the board like it had burned him.
How does he know that?
Jonah asked. Ethan didn't answer. He was completely blanked out from inside. They tried not airing the call. The phone rang. They ignored it. At 12:17 a.m., suddenly, something weird happened. Station monitors flickered on their own. The caller's voice filled the room anyway.
You can't skip this. You can't,
it said.
You already didn't.
That night's death was the station's janitor. He was found in the parking lot at 12:31 a.m. The fire marshal called it an accident. Jonah didn't sleep after that. She kept thinking about that caller. Who it can be. The seventh night, Jonah was busy in doing something, like trying to find something. A few minutes later, she takes a deep breath.
Oh, man. Finally, I got all,
she said. Then she looked toward Ethan.
Listen to this,
Jonah said. He played back a recording of the caller's voice, then another, then another. Ethan frowned.
And what am I listening this for?
Jonah overlaid the audio. The distortion aligned. The cadence matched. The breaths fell in the same places. Ethan's face drained of color.
What the freak is me?
Ethan whispered.
Not exactly. Older, hoarser, like smoke had lived in the lungs.
Jonah said.
What is my voice?
The phone rang. Ethan answered without thinking.
Stop doing this, you bastard.
Ethan said. The caller exhaled.
Well, I tried.
Who are you?
Jonah asked. A pause. Long.
I'm what's left.
The caller said.
After the fire.
Jonah looked around the studio.
What fire?
The caller didn't answer and hang up the phone. They searched the station records. Every file. Every document. No history of fires. No violations. But Jonah found something else. A maintenance report dated 6 months in the future. Cause of damage, electrical overload. Location, main broadcast studio. Fatalities, 2. Names were blacked out. Jonah's hands shook.
That's not possible.
She said. Ethan stared at the date.
Unless it already happened.
On the 10th night, once again, the caller stayed on the line.
Tonight matters,
He said. Ethan swallowed.
Why are you doing this? Because if I warn them,
The caller said.
you stay longer.
Jonah leaned into the mic.
Stay longer than what?
The caller laughed softly.
The fire.
He said.
It comes whether I speak or not. But every death I announce delays it. One more night. One more broadcast.
Silence.
You're trading lives.
Ethan said.
I already did.
The caller replied.
I just didn't know it the first time.
Jonah snapped. He lunged for the breaker switch. The lights died. The equipment screamed. Smoke poured from the console. Jonah, stop! Ethan shouted. The emergency lights flickered on. The phone rang, ringing through the dark.
You did this before.
The caller said calmly.
This is how it starts.
Flames crawled along the wall. Jonah froze.
This wasn't supposed to happen.
Ethan grabbed her.
Run.
The door wouldn't open. The heat rose fast. The caller's voice grew clearer, stronger.
You stayed last time,
Caller said.
so I could exist.
Ethan understood. He pushed Jonah toward the emergency exit window.
Get out.
Ethan said.
What about you?
Just forget me.
Ethan said. He looked toward her for a while, then closed his eyes, filled with tears.
So, this is how it will end.
Ethan said with eyes closed. Ethan turned back to the mic. The fire roared. The on-air sign stayed lit. Weeks later, Jonah listened to the radio alone. At 11:57 p.m., the station went quiet. At midnight, the phone rang. A familiar voice answered.
Midnight radio.
Ethan's voice came. Jonah's breath caught. A distorted voice replied.
Tonight, someone will die.
Jonah whispered.
Ethan, stop!
The voice on the line exhaled.
I tried.
The on-air sign glowed. The broadcast continued.